Hey everybody, happy Zen Withins'day. I am coming to you from my backyard, my new bench that I got for my upcoming birthday from my mom and my partner. It's a beautiful spring day here. It's really nice out here in Charlotte. Hope you're having a good day. So I want to talk with you about the energies right now. I'm personally slogging through some mucky energy at the moment, and a lot of the people that I am talking with and working with right now are clearing a lot of what I would say hopeless energy. And when the energetic themes came in for the month, and the first one was about standing your ground and working in resiliency and perseverance, I knew we were in for a bit of a slog here at the beginning of the month especially. And tonight I have a healing circle on owning your choices, and that's really what I want to talk with you all about today, that particular theme. But I just felt like I needed to mention that we're clearing some very distinct density right now that I think is designed to help us move into this eclipse portal that we have here at the end of the month on the 20th, on my birthday, which feels really interesting. And it's designed to help us close out some cycles. And so when we get to the bottom of the barrel hopeless place, or we're feeling disillusioned, or we're feeling negative, we have to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, so to speak, and soldier on, right? And step into that courage. And so there may be some big emotion for you right now. I'm doing a pretty big clearing on anger at the moment, just like all kinds of anger energy that's been living in my body for a long time. And in the springtime here in the Northern Hemisphere, it's liver season, and normally we go through a bit of an anger clearing this time of year. And when anger is not addressed, it becomes repressed and it turns into depression and hopelessness. And so you can see the link there between this disillusioned, hopeless energy that we're clearing and the anger frequency. So I encourage you, if you're feeling stuck or feeling angry or frustrated, that you sit down and you write out, like just do a stream of consciousness release of anything that's on your mind or maybe buried deep inside your psyche that you pull out as you're doing that. And then do something with that paper, burn it, release it ahead of this eclipse on the 20th. When we're ending these big cycles and starting a new chapter in these eclipses, it's really intense and the energies are stronger than ever. And so the eclipse will be stronger than ever. That's what we can expect. So just be mindful if that's coming up for you, that maybe you need to sit down and do some inner work and sit with what's arriving and not repress it. And if you're feeling it, it's here to be felt, it's here to be experienced, and here to be brought forward. So let's talk a little bit about this theme of owning your choices, because that's what we're really going to be stepping into next week and end of this week as we move through this kind of stand your ground energy. So there's two parts to this theme. The first part of it is owning our past choices and being able to forgive decisions that we may have made where we negated our internal wisdom and our internal clarity. And going back and looking at our past timeline in this lifetime, and maybe even in others, and forgiving ourselves for those times where we didn't align with our light, where we didn't step into our truth, and we were afraid, or we didn't have the tools, or whatever the reason is, and bringing compassion to those versions of yourself so that you are not living with regret energy. Because when we live with regret energy and we're constantly going back and looking at what's happened in the past, we're taking ourselves out of our being in present time and going into that past timeline and living in what we created and how we created then. And last month, I talked with you all about being an active creator and what that really meant. And so this is building on that theme a little bit of, if we're creating from that past version of ourselves and we have not forgiven that version of ourselves and we're still living in regret of that aspect of us that made those decisions, then we're still creating from that past timeline. We're not creating from the version of you that exists now in the now moment that has new tools and new awareness and new abilities. And so it's really important that we do the work to let go of these versions of ourselves that we're not able to be fully in their power. We're not able to step fully into their truth at that time and their wisdom at that time, and forgive them. And that might also include some forgiveness work around certain relationships or people that, when you were not able to be in your power, might have taken advantage. That can come up with this as well. And then the second part of this theme is this idea of now being in our clarity and our wisdom. And so when the intuitive knowing comes in, that we are willing to take the action right away, that we are able to take the action right away, and we don't get stuck in this place of fear and unworthiness and shame and doubt that keeps us from actually taking measured action when the intuitive knowings come in. And I also want to say that part of this owning your choices is taking the freaking action. I tend to see a lot of people outsourcing their wisdom and their decision making to other people and asking everybody for their opinion, and then it takes 20 people, and by the 20th person they're finally like, oh, I guess I can move forward on that. Like, they give themselves permission if there is some sort of external validation about their decision. And I think that this comes from fear. I also think it comes from the past versions of us that maybe made choices that were not the best, and how we're healing that, right? And how we're able to separate from that. And that understanding that we can just take the action and the universe will still align with us, even if it's the wrong, quote unquote, choice, because there are no wrong choices. The universe will realign itself to support the reality that you're creating. And if it's not in your highest timeline, things will be rerouted and new information will come in, and you will be able to step out of that decision and into a new beginning. And I think that is hard for some of us to believe, because we've maybe made choices in the past and felt like we got stuck. But that normally is because we get into that place of making a choice. We have an awareness that it's not the best choice for us. And instead of being brave and courageous and bold and shifting our thinking and shifting into a new state of being and a new decision, we stay with what we decided because we feel like we don't have another option, or we're afraid, or there's some other blocker that comes in. And so this idea of not making choices and not owning our choices that we want to move forward with because we are afraid that we might make the wrong decision, I think is keeping a lot of us, sometimes myself included, in analysis paralysis. And we have access now to so much more ability to instantly manifest, that if something is not right for us, we're going to know pretty quickly. And when we know pretty quickly, we're going to be able to reroute and make new choices. And then we can say to the universe, hey, it seems like I made a choice that's not the best for me, and I would really like some help in unwinding from this as quickly and as easily as possible and as gracefully as possible. And as we unwind from that decision, the universe can support us in that. I have had many examples of this in my life where I had an intuitive knowing about something and then quickly realized that I was afraid to lean into that and made a different choice. And after making that choice, realized, I should have listened to my intuition. And I have sat down in meditation and said to the universe, hey, I get this. I'm seeing this lesson that I didn't listen to my intuition again. And I need help unwinding from this decision. I need help. And I would like it to be as gracefully and as easeful as possible, and really not have any negative impacts on anybody outside of me that might be harmed by the fact that I didn't listen to my intuition. Help me work this out. And I have had so many examples of the universe supporting me, because sometimes when we don't listen to our intuition and then we make a decision and it doesn't work out for us, we're like, now I'm just going to punish myself and I have to learn this lesson. I have to make the most of it. I have to stick with it. That's bullshit. You do not have to stick with something that is uncomfortable. You can change your mind. You can find a new truth. You can step out of that decision. And sometimes we make decisions that have far-reaching impacts on people, and we have to own that, right? As a part of pulling that decision back. That's okay. right? That's you being a human. You're not perfect. You're not going to get it right every single time. Sometimes you're going to mess it up. And so I think we need to be a bit more graceful and compassionate towards ourselves and towards one another, that when we get more information and we drop deeper into our power, sometimes we learn things and then we have to change how we're showing up in the world. We have to change decisions that we've made. We have to change boundaries that we've set, and that's okay. So that's really the essence of this theme of owning your choices. And the other thing that I want to just say about it is that what I find when I go in and start helping people to unwind from some of these patterns of being disempowered in their choices and their decision making is that their nervous system is all jacked up. Their nervous system comes online when they get ready to make a decision or a choice, and it activates into past traumas that they've experienced where their choices have been questioned by themselves or others, or perhaps shamed by themselves or others, and their nervous system freaks out, and then their mental body comes online, and then they just stay in their headspace, and that headspace just starts spinning, and it's crazy. It starts to feel real crazy in there when the headspace starts spinning, because we're like, wow, what if this, what if that, what if this, what if that? And we're exploring all these timelines that are probably not going to happen, but we're trying them all on in our mental headspace. And then we're not making a decision. We're not orienting towards anything. And so it's important that we're doing nervous system work and supporting the nervous system and healing from these past traumas, so that the nervous system doesn't activate when we're trying to make a simple decision or a simple choice, and we don't go into analysis paralysis, and then the mental body starts seeking everybody else's approval to make sure that they're okay and make sure that they're making the best decision. And so if that sounds like you, then this healing circle is for you. And if you're living in past regret of choices that you've made in the past, and you're having trouble moving forward, and you're having trouble making new decisions that are empowered, this healing circle is for you. And so that's really the essence of what we're working on heading into this eclipse. And then post-eclipse, we'll have some new energy coming in, and we'll be in an in-between 2-week period in between these eclipse windows, and some things will come to the surface. Some more things will come to the surface. So that's what I wanted to share with you all today. I hope you are doing super well, and I hope you're hanging in there, and own your choices. Be brave, my friends. That's what comes on the other side of this energy. When we clear the anger, when we clear the frustration, when we clear the shame, when we clear the doubt, when we heal our nervous systems, when we drop into our power, we have courage and we have bravery, and we can do amazing things. So have a wonderful day, everyone. And I hope to see some of you for Healing Circle tonight. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss any updates. And if you miss the Healing Circle tonight, you can't join live, it's recorded, so you can always catch it on the replay. All right, bye everyone. Thanks so much.